Hi, so my name is Jamie. I am from New York and I'm going to show you guys how to properly put on TransTape when you're going to bind your chest. Now, binding your chest is typically done by a lot of people, but more specifically trans men and non-binary folks. It can also be used to pack, it can also be used to tuck, and honestly, it can be used for so many things, but today we're going to focus on actually putting it on your chest and giving it so you have that nice masculine or just flat looking chest. And important thing to keep in mind, nobody has a perfectly flat chest. All right, say with me, nobody has a perfectly flat chest. It's all right if you got a little bit of a bump. Everybody's got a bump. All right, so what I like to do, but I'm not showing this part because I already did it. Sorry. I wipe down the area that I'm going to be applying my tape with some alcohol. So you could just get some at the store. It's usually rather cheap. And you just kind of wipe it down with a little cotton thing, little cotton ball, cotton round, whatever you want to use. Towel, doesn't matter. And that way it takes any of those natural oils that may prevent the trans tape from actually properly adhering to your skin. So you definitely don't want to skip that step. I'm fresh out of the shower, so we should be pretty golden here. Um, I also use repairing solve. I put some of the repairing solve. TransTape sells this. This is a little tube. They also sell it in like a little container. It's pretty good stuff, you know. You can use it for more than just putting it on your skin. You can use it as chapstick too. It's all natural. Good stuff. So you put some on your nipple here, as well as a nipple guard. These fancy guys here. I have one on each side. So I already did this step. If you're doing this with me, I give you some time. You can pause the video. Alright, so did you do it? Cool. Alright, so now if you haven't done it yet, you can cut out your trans tape. I have the inked roll. This is a medium. Beautiful stuff. So what you want to do is kind of figure out how many strips you're going to use. I'm going to be doing a 4-strip tutorial here. All of them are medium-sized trans tape. I typically use a 3 square, so I'll kind of show you what I'm looking at here. We have these little blue lines. When I say a section, that is what I'm referring to. So this is one section, this is 2 sections, and so on and so forth. We are going to cut 2 3 sections and 2 2.5 sections. When I say sections, I am referring to bold line to bold line. So 3, 2.5. All right. After you do that, let's round the corners. Alright, so what we mean when we say round the corners is cut that little sharp part off right there. So just like that. And the reason that we do this is so when you are doing day-to-day activities, you are not being bothered by your tape catching and pulling on skin. You don't want that. So you see this? Rounded. Totally rounded. That's how we like it. The only way we like it. So the reason we have 2 different sizes is because you have to overlap. So if you're doing a technique, you're going to have one on the top or the bottom, whichever one you do first. And then we have this. And it needs to overlap so it can properly stick to your body and not the other trans tape. Very important. But we're going to start with a small piece. So create a little bit of friction. I like this step. It makes it a little bit easier so you don't have to rub it as much when you are, it's a nice one after. You don't have to rub it that much after you stick it on, so. Take this. Top or bottom? Alright, so we're going to start on the top, and we're going to place it just like that. Good tip for finding your perfect placements is curving your hand with your chest and kind of moving it just so you see what kind of direction that you need, just like that. Okay, so then take it, lift up the back as you go, do your best not to overstretch, and there you go. And you want to do as minimal wrinkles and stretching as you can, and of course give it a couple rubs after replace it. So that is how we're looking so far. Just a comparison. Okay, see that? Keeping it time for the long piece. So we're going to put this on the bottom. Give it a little bit of friction. Such a beautiful day out, honestly. Perfect day to make some friction. Okay, create your little anchor here. And we're going to go for the bottom. So make sure you're not here, you're not here, you are over. Just like that. And this is the way I do it. Everybody is different. You will find your own technique, but the most important part is that you are at least overlapping. Alright? So then we're going to kind of get press where we want to press. And then try not to lift your shoulder too much. Keep it as low and straight as possible. Right. So that is one side. Right. A little comparison there. There. There we are. Alright. Looking good. So we're going to repeat that step. A little friction. Give yourself a little bit of space here, just like that. Try not to touch the tape too much because you will bother the adhesive. And then we're going to find our placement. So find where you kind of want to press, where the start of your tape is going to go. And it's okay if you don't match up perfectly on both sides, because in reality, we're not going to get it perfect every time. I sure don't. So now we're pressing. Try to keep your arm as low as you can. Fight that urge. Right. Don't push along. This side tends to be the side I struggle with. Everyone's got that side, I feel like. Just like everything else, that's fine. We're not trying to be perfect. We're trying to be ourselves. Last piece. Create a little friction. Give it a good rub. Nice and warm. Right. And then this, gonna go on the lower side, just like it did on this side. Like that, like that. Okay. Can't get this one started. Alright, there we go. Alright. Put a little anchor. Just like that. We're gonna find our placement. Where do we need it to go? Right. So right about there, make sure we are overlapping. Right, and try to keep the shoulder low. There we go. Try to smooth that out, give it a couple rubs there. And if you get some wrinkles, that's fine. That's fine. It's not going to be perfect every time. Mine sure isn't. They are not perfectly even. It doesn't have to be perfect. But that's it. That is binding with TransTape. Amazing, right? Amazing. Just to give you an idea what it looks like in the top, because it is summertime, and we're not trying to be wearing long sleeve shirts or short sleeve shirts on 100-degree days. So, it's a tank top. Here's my arm. There's the tape. Looks pretty good. See that? Where'd they go? Nobody knows. But that is how you bind with TransTape.